Welcome to another episode of The Minority Voice. I'm your host, Jeff Vega, and today I want to share some videos with you and let you know that we are winning. It's a good thing. This woke culture, this CRT, Americans are fighting back all across the country. And, you know, we've woken up. Real Americans who love this country have decided it's worth fighting for, and they're stepping up and stepping out. And so this first video, Dave, I want you to play. I'd like to call it the shot heard across the country. You know, back in 1775, you heard the saying, the shot that was heard around the world when the militants lined up against the British in Concord, or was it Lexington? You don't know either. It was one of the two. I think it was Concord. Anyways, and you know, somebody fired a shot. Nobody knows who it was, but that started the Revolutionary War. And my friends, I think
Concord.
it was on Concord, yeah. Concord, yeah, I knew it was one. So,
Old North Bridge.
Old North, okay. So, I think Loudoun County, Virginia, is going to go down as, well, you could say the Ferdinand moment. And that started World War II. I think this is the one. And so, Dave, play this video.
The Western culture and values that brought forth Christianity in the founding documents are being called evil and racist.
I'm reminded of the tyranny of communist China, where your money is legally stolen and then used in government schools, not public schools. These are not public schools, these are government schools, like here, to indoctrinate children against their parents.
My child is not oppressed, and don't assume that. As long as you Marxists push your unconstitutional agenda on my child, she will not be returning back to Loudoun County schools.
Yep, a heated scene. I don't need to tell you if you watch that playing out in Loudoun County, Virginia, where hundreds of parents push back against the school board over the district's transgender policy and other things. The district has also been the epicenter of the fight against critical race theory in the classroom. Look at this.
So you see, these individuals, they're speaking out, and they are going to be heard, and they're done. And they're speaking out, and they're having an impact, because I will tell you that there are school boards all across the country that are being challenged, and township meetings, city hall meetings, and we're going to look at a few tonight that people are doing it. So, but you know what? I tell you, you know, this is great, and we're on the right track. But you know what? Every movement needs martyrs, and guess what? The haters of America, the American haters, are providing an opportunity for we to have our martyrs. Dave, play this next video.
Who pays your salary? Shame on you. Wow. Wow. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. Yeah. That is unlawful order. You need to be arrested. What a shame. What a shame.
John, walk with me, please. Walk with me, John.
Now!
Hey, John, please don't resist.
You guys, this is an unlawful arrest. I have a First Amendment right.
Listen, you do, right? But
You're right. Okay, thank you. Here's someone
so
speaking rationally.
listen to me. At this point, the meeting is over, right?
It's not over.
Listen,
It's not over.
It is.
We were
All right,
meeting. We
but
were meeting.
if you-
Okay, this young man, well, he's not necessarily young, but he gets arrested for being at a school board meeting. You know, they could not handle the fact that, okay, we're here and we're going to be heard. So they shut down the school board meeting, and they were making people get out. And evidently, this guy wanted to be heard, and well, he ended up being arrested. And I want to tell you something, friends. This has gone viral, and people are going to rise up because you go and you get arrested at a school board meeting. Friends, this is America, and he's one of many martyrs that are coming up now because they're standing up. And this next one, Dave wants you to play, but this guy, I mean, he puts every American to shame. So Dave, play this video.
I'm in Campbell, 1571 Brookfield Road, Lower Makefield Township. I'm a Pensbury School District resident, Pensbury School District taxpayer. I'm also a former member of the Governing Board of Directors, 2009 to 2013. It's nice to see the old faces. I'm here to speak today. I believe, Gary, you said it was item KKK in the agenda book. Well, isn't that just a perfect summation of what it is I'm here to talk about? KKK, your proposed new school board policy, seeking once again to limit the constitutionally protected speech of American citizens. Now, when I sat on this school board, I believe some of you old-timers might remember this. A union guy spoke at public comment for 5 minutes and ripped me a new one. He called me the bastard child of Margaret Thatcher. And I sat there and I said to myself, okay, fair enough. Welcome to America. He considers me a bastard because I'm in the government. His logic is sound. Now, what happened was the superintendent and the school solicitor at the time freaked out and they didn't put the tape online the next day. And I called them up and I said, get the tape online now before we get sued for censorship. I yelled at the solicitor and I asked him what law school he went to, because it was clearly constitutionally protected rhetorical hyperbole. I can cite the case if you'd like. And I said to Paul Long, the superintendent at the time, don't ever cut the tape again, Paul. And by the way, bastard child of Margaret Thatcher, I took it as a compliment. Now, you snowflakes apparently have a bigger problem with public comment. It seems to me that you think you can supersede the United States Constitution. Well, I've got news for you, School Board President Benito Mussolini. Your power does not supersede that of the US Constitution and the First Amendment rights of the citizens of this great nation. Let's be very, very clear who has the power.
Mr.
It is
Campbell,
not government policy. Do not warn me or do not interrupt my time.
That if you
interrupt my
make
time,
personal insults like that again, or if you personally direct your comments, you will
Let
be
me be
asked
very
to
clear.
step away from the podium.
I'm going to
I am
quote
asking
to you,
again, make
solicitor.
your comments,
I'm
but do
quoting,
not
just
do
a minute, do
name
not
calling
talk
like
over
you
me.
just did.
This is my comment, not your comment. I'm quoting to you now from the United States Supreme Court 1964 case, New York Times versus Sullivan. This is constitutional case law in this country, and I'm quoting you from the US Supreme Court. The judges wrote that this nation is founded on the, quote, profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues shall be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials. That's constitutional case law in this nation. I don't have to be nice to you. Nobody behind me has to be nice to you. If you don't like living in the United States of America, then you can all move to Russia, Cuba, or China. This is the First Amendment. And I will caution you, solicitor. There is a video camera to my left. If you edit this tape, then you're going to have a big legal problem on your hands, because my right to critique your fascism, which is what this is constitutionally protected. There are emails, public record emails, in which the Director of Equity is lobbying and advocating for public comment to be censored in this school district. And you know what? lobbying for it, advocating for it. We've got the school board president saying she'll do better at hitting the mute button in blatant violation of the Constitution for her lobbying and her advocacy of unconstitutional censorship. I want you, the school board, to terminate the employment of Dr. Charissa Gibson with immediate effect. And after you've terminated her employment, I want all of you to tender your resignations for hating on this country. We have a God-given constitutional right to critique you, and we can speak in any lawful tone that we see fit. And don't go looking around, Benito, because this is the United States of America. You have a good... one more thing. I want to make a verbal request right now for an unedited copy of the tape. So if any of you delete it, you're going to have a big legal problem. Good night.
I told you you'd like it. This guy's name is Simon Campbell, and he's from England. He's a natural American citizen now, and if you get a chance, go look at some of his interviews that he's done, and he talks about his passion and his love for this country, and not only that, but his knowledge of our rights. And as I said earlier before the video, he puts most Americans to shame because most Americans don't know, our constitutional rights. But he lays it on them, and he also used to be a school board member on the school board. So he knows what these individuals are about, and he's not having any of it. So, in coming to our next video, it's not enough to just show up, but when there's a pushback, when we get pushed, we got to push back. They play this.
Due to direct and indirect threats, inappropriate comments in and out of public meetings, and the general divisiveness issues creating in our community, we will not be doing the Pledge of Allegiance during Town of Silverton Board of Trustee meetings, and it's removed from agendas and/or protocols until such time that we can discuss this at a board retreat or workshop.
We already discussed this as a board. Any other unilateral decisions we need to know about?
If you'd like to find somewhere in the code that does not permit me to do this, then I welcome that discussion at our next
meeting. Yes, but it's just been done for a long time.
I understand.
We all took an oath, and we as a board collectively decided it would be done.
This is not up for discussion at this moment, but if you'd like to add it to the next agenda,
unilateral
we can do
decision.
that.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
I would like to make one comment. I'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm sorry, but that's to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd note that that's out of order, and we did have a one-strike policy. I'm not going to ask everyone to leave tonight, but if something like that happens again, we will.
You'll resign.
And heckling and other things like that are also out of order. So please don't ask me to make people leave.
So this mayor, on his own, decides that he's going to prohibit the Pledge of Allegiance from being spoken. And it's a call to the public. So this resident of the community says, I want to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and don't wait for an answer. She just goes ahead and does it. Everybody stands up and starts saying the pledge. And you notice that there were two city council members. They stood up and also said the pledge too. And it's interesting what the mayor had to say afterwards, that she was out of order. And then if somebody does something like that again or gets out of hand, that they're gonna shut it all down. Now my question is to this town, one is, why is this guy still your mayor? Because clearly he doesn't love America. And two, they originally had taken a vote on this pledge because the mayor wanted it not to be to be spoke. And they voted 4-3 that they would continue to say the pledge. And I'm wondering, okay, if it was voted 4-3 and it passed, why are the other 3 still on the council? And, you know, these people need to step up and take some action. And hopefully, because of this video, that maybe the people in the town will wake up and take care of that. And as I said, the pushback now, it's coming from all different directions. And it seems like now, this guy, Dave, I'm gonna have you play this next video, he's coming out again, speaking out against the woke culture. So go ahead and play it, Dave.
All right, let me ask you about the media aspect of this, because I find this outrageous. Facebook banned any post for 4 months about COVID coming from a lab. Of course, now even the Biden administration is looking into this.
Right.
Google, a Wall Street Journal reporter asked the head of Google's health division, notice that they don't do autofill searches for coronavirus lab leak the way they do it for any other question. And the guy said, well, we want to make sure the search isn't leading people down pathways that we would find to be not authoritative information. Well, you were wrong, Google and Facebook. Right. We don't know. The reason why we want you is because we're checking on this shit. He said, we want to ensure the first thing users see is information from the CDC, the WHO. That's who I'm checking on. The WHO has been very corrupt about a lot of shit, and the CDC's been wrong about a lot of shit. This is outrageous that I can't look this information up, and now they're doing it with this drug ivermectin. They threw Brett Weinstein off YouTube, or almost. He's one strike away. YouTube should not be telling me what I can see about ivermectin. Ivermectin isn't a registered Republican. It's a drug. No. Well, I don't know if it works or not, and a lot of other doctors don't either.
Man, you gotta love it. Now, I probably disagree on 95% of what Bill Maher has to say about anything. But it seems like now every week I am going over to his YouTube channel or finding an article because he is speaking out. Because he finally has seen that what's going on here is totally anti-America. And he's speaking out. And in this case, he's talking about the censorship of Google and Facebook. And if you're on the right, you know this has been going on forever. But you know what? Here's the beauty of it all. We can speak to the left, the progressives, the anti-Americans, the American haters all day long, and they won't listen to us. But when Bill Maher speaks about something, he's speaking to his tribe, and they're going to listen to him, and they're going to be asking questions too. Now, he's going to take some heat for this, but it's good too that he's speaking out for this censorship. But you know what? It's not just on the left. Check out this video. Dave, play this video.
Outages across the region. Fox 26 reporter Ivory Hecker is live in Montgomery County to take a look at that aspect.
Thanks, guys. That's right. Before we get to that story, I want to let you, the viewers, know that Fox Corp has been muzzling me to keep certain information from you, the viewers. And from what I'm gathering, I am not the only reporter being subjected to this. I am going to be releasing some recordings about what goes on behind the scenes at Fox because it applies to you, the viewers. I found a nonprofit journalism group called Project Veritas. It's going to help put that out tomorrow, so tune into them. But as for this heat wave across Texas, you can see what it's doing to AC units. This one broken down as we...
So a little background on this young lady. Her name is Ivy Hecker. She was a reporter, and she's had enough of the censoring. And you notice who she worked for? Worked for Fox News. And she spoke out, and she's done. And you see what her boss thought about it and how we're being manipulated on the left and on the right. And she spoke out, and of course, you know, she's done. But, you know, the beauty of this this ecosystem, this economy now, television, radio, you don't need the big corporations, the institutions, the networks anymore. What I'm doing here right now, I'm pretty much a one-man operation who can do, 10 different things, who puts David, that puts all this together, and it's out there. Now, all my 13 followers and subscribers, they're getting this message. But you don't need these institutions anymore, these networks to get your message out. And so she's out there with her own followers now, making it happen. And I would tell you, next week, I'm going to play another one, because here locally in Michigan, there's another individual who works for CBS who has stepped out and called out, her company. And, of course, she got fired, but that's the way it is. But you know what? There's where we have to get our mindset to, that we have to step up, step out, no matter where you're at in life, and push back. If we're going to save this country, it lies on our shoulders. So until next time, Joshua 24:15.